right behind you guys. Yeah. Just want to make sure we have room for it.
Yeah.
Mobile games are going big with Google Play Games.
I would imagine Vilwalk, he's probably...
He's the crafty one you
He's
got to
the
watch
one
out
who-
for.
Yeah, he's the one he knows. Probably feels like he can win from any lane. And then the 3, I think he wants to see how his boat handles. I mean, again, they haven't raced anybody yet. They've been out on the boat now, but they haven't been out in the boat in race conditions. And I'll be interested to see how much they want to perform well. I have no doubts about that. But I also know that this will be the first time they've had other boats on the water with them short of the testing period this morning.
So we can see what's happening down in the pits, and you're right, all of the boats are down there. And the one thing, and we heard this from some of the drivers in the other classes, that how hot it's getting in those cockpits. I mean, they are trying to shade them with umbrellas and keep them cool, but that is not the place you want to be spending a whole lot of time in when the boat's not moving.
And we talked about the lack of wind and how good it is for the course.
Yes.
The lack of wind is not so good when it's really hot outside,
No
though.
doubt.
You don't get any sort of break in that. And so you're hot from start to finish in there. And, of course, those fire suits, and those are not cooled. And so hopefully, they're able to find some ways through some water or something like that. Or you trick yourself and put an ice pack in your chest right before you get into the boat. Or
That's not a bad idea.
Or find some way to keep yourself cool throughout the race. Because, Mike we talked about that. And he goes, that's the hottest he's ever been. And tomorrow's going to be even hotter.
Yeah, actually getting a text message from some friends over on the Pasco side, and they're saying that it's just so different than they've ever seen it before for years. And that's kind of amazing over there with the, like we mentioned, the corporate tents and special areas. They had the large vendor village. It's just not there anymore. And that allows everybody to, have an outstanding view of the race course.
No. And we'll be excited to see all those folks back next year. I mean, we aren't trying to dismiss them as there of anything.
Oh, they may be here. They just had to bring their own tent.
I just think I think they're people they're getting opportunity they don't normally get. And next year when we're back to full capacity and all the corporate tents are back and all that stuff, we're gonna have just as much fun as we do this year. And I'm excited to see. I'm really excited for this race. I really feel like this is going to be a race that is going to offer among the best racing that we're going to see this weekend.
And Kevin, heading into this race, you're kind of keeping track of our points as we head into that final winner-take-all final tomorrow afternoon to wrap up the Hapo Columbia Cup at the end of Sunday's racing. After qualifying, let's go through some of those qualifying speeds that we have and who ended up getting the points. And all of a sudden, I've lost Kevin at Tire Factory Turn 2. There you are. Well, looks like we're going to head back down to the pits for our countdown. Go ahead, guys.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, as we are probably roughly 1 to the 5. I don't know if Brad or Glenn are there.
That should have been the 5-minute mark. And here come the boats.
That was the 5-minute mark. Yep.
Sorry, guys. 440 to the start.
The 3 is the first off.
Here comes the 40.
40, the 12 is off. The 8 staying. The last boat will be off. Will be the 8.
Yep, and he is away from the dock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time to go. H1 Unlimited Racing 2021 Hapo Columbia Cup. Buckle up, guys. Here we go.
Can it be as good as the other classifications, the E350 and the GPs that we've seen so far today?
Yeah, they've got something to live up to here.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Look at these water conditions. Holy smoke, they're absolutely beautiful.
No wind across the Columbia River course right now.
Coming up on 4 minutes. 4 minutes to the start.
Up the Griggs back stretches, the Griggs, the 3 with Jimmy King. Behind him, Dave Vilwalk and the orange, black, and yellow Beacon Plumbing, the 40. On the outside, with a lot of boat speed in the Graham Trucking 12, Andrew Tate is going to overtake Vilwalk on the outside, heading into Shell Sun Market turn number 3.
A lot of time left, but the 3 was to the inside, and right now...
Yeah, Vilwalk has cut across the ASCO Electric infield to the front stretch.
Sounds kind of Vilwalk-esque.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, now see if he doesn't do it again on the lower end.
Now watch Miss Tri-Cities. J. Michael Kelly in the 8. No, he'll head up all the way around Shell Sun Market turn 3. Vilwalk is in 1 as we come down the front stretch. Jimmy King also wants that lane, apparently.
Yep, he's going all the way down, and Jimmy King is going to cut the course right here.
Yeah, King's going across 305. 305 to our start.
Andrew Andrew Tate still well outside, still kind of hanging out in lane 3, lane 4 area.
Stay right.
Will Miss Tri-Cities turn? No.
Nope. I don't
J.
think
Michael
he's
Kelly will
not turned up here. He's pretty far back, though.
He is, and he's way outside as he gets into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
244.
On the Griggs backstretch, King. Vilwalk is going to cut through the Esco infield to the front stretch.
Contracts, exploding bills.
Follow, no, he's going to continue up the backstretch. Looks like Andrew Tate's going to continue up the backstretch as well.
Guys, I've got some unofficial timing marks here that I keep an eye on. You don't want to be crossing start-finish line at 2 minutes. If you do, like Dave did, it's 2:15 right now. You're going to have to do something a little special here, or you're not going to be able to get around the course just once. So watch to see if anybody's crossing right at 2 minutes. I also watch the entrance buoy down here. You do not want to be here at
Jimmy King
1:30.
is
Here goes
crossing.
King. Now watch him with Vilwalk coming across.
This is going to be interesting. Vilwalk backs off.
Yeah, Jimmy King to the Griggs backstretch.
Vilwalk backed off. They were... there was going to be a meeting of the minds there that neither one of them wanted to be involved in.
Yeah, and we've seen that before with Tate and Shane in the last couple of years. They gotten tight up there. So here they come across one more time. Now you don't want to be down here at $1.30, and it's $1.33 right now. And here comes Andrew Tate. I think he's going to be a
Vilwalk and Jimmy King both cut across the Esco infield to the front stretch.
Yep, and here comes Andrew Tate. He's going to claim lane number 1 in the 12 to Graham Trucking. Looks like Kelly wants to start this thing on the far outside. He's not even making a move to the inside. He's going to start wide.
Tate bounced and found some hope there down here in Tire Factory turn 2. But yeah, Tate's going to claim lane 1. J. Michael Kelly's decided he's going to try to win this from lane 5.
Wow.
Well, he's scruffing off some speed. You know, he can do that and then pull back in when they get to start, finish, and start the race.
Well, they're kind of getting lined up now. So Tate in 1, Vilwalk in 2, King in 3, and it looks like J. Michael Kelly be in lane 4.
And just for clarification on the rule, whatever lane you are in, when you enter turn 3, that's the lane you have to hold and bring to the start-finish line. Go ahead, Michael.
All right, so Dave Vilwalk back in lane number 2, just like the final in Madison. Will the boat handle better this time around?
And we talked about that earlier. If you're in lane 2, you do not want to be second across the line.
Watch that countdown. Andrew Tate, Graham Trucking, lane number 1. Dave Vilwalk, Beacon Plumbing, lane number 2. Jimmy King in the Griggs U3 in lane 3, and on the outside, Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly in the 8. Off the exit pin, turn number 4. 10 seconds to the start of Heat 1A. They're backing off the throttle.
3 seconds, 2, 1, mark.
It looked like it was just on time inside for Jimmy King. Dave Vilwalk in second place as they come down the front stretch.
Boy, you're coming 3 wide down here, but it is piston power from lane number 3. King's going to get down here first, but a lot of speed off to his left, Kevin.
Now Dave Vilwalk closing the door quickly, and here comes Andrew Tate. They're going to go deck to deck to the Griggs backstretch, but it is the 3 that's got just about a couple boat lengths lead.
Dave Vilwalk's boat is handling extremely well through the bottom end of the course and up the backstretch. The Griggs backstretch. Griggs boat is in the lead as they head up the backstretch, but Vilwalk is gaining on Jimmy King on the inside. And then in lane number 1, a nice run for Andrew Tate in the 12 as they get to Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3 and into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. 3 boats deck to deck to deck. The start is under review. The start is under review. Jimmy King may have been early, not quite sure if the 12 was early as well. We'll find out. Dave Vilwalk is going to lead after lap number 1 coming down the front stretch.
Boy, but as he got company, you could throw a blanket across all 3 of them. King in lane number 3 still hanging right ahead of him, but it is Tate, and it is Vilwalk. Dead even at Beatrice Pit, Kevin.
Tate is
Yeah, Kevin.
live on the air.
There we go.
There we go. Dave Vilwalk coming out of turn 2. With a lot of boat speed. Jimmy King followed by the Rooster Tail behind them. But J. Michael Kelly well back and forth.
Jimmy King, 1 lap penalty, jumped the gun. The only boat that was not clean at the start. Jimmy King, a 1 lap penalty. The boat leaders, the race leaders are out in front right now. Tate on the inside. Vilwalk on the outside as they get to turn number 3. Shell Sun Market turn 3. Buffalo Brothers turn 4. It looks like like Tate's going to take the lead as they get to the exit pin of turn number 4 onto the front stretch. It is Tate on the inside with the lead in the Graham Trucking. Billwalk on the outside, coming across start-finish, and there's been some damage to the back fairing and the wing of Dave Billwalk's boat, the Beacon Blowing.
Yeah, he doesn't have a wing. He doesn't have fairings. He also doesn't have the lead. He's about 3 lengths behind Andrew Tate, but it's still a good boat race out front.
Yeah, and the problem with not having those wings or bearings is you can and that is exactly what happened to Dave Billwalk down here, and Andrew Tate now onto about a 1 rooster tail lead.
Watch Kelly on the inside now.
Yep, J. Mike has moved to the inside in lane number 1 as they come up the backstretch. Jimmy King still ahead of him, but Jimmy's got that 1-lap penalty. Back to the race leaders, Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking into turn number 3. Checkered flag is out for heat 1A, and it's going to be Andrew Tate coming off the exit pin of turn number 4 in first place. Dave Billwalk has fallen back about a rooster tail now, and he's going to swing way outside wide at the Buffalo Brothers exit of turn number 4. The race winner, Andrew Tate, Graham Trucking. Checkered flag is out. Second place for Dave Billwalk, and they're going to have work to do on the rear fairing and wing. Third place, J. Michael Kelly. Miss Tri-Cities and Jimmy King with a penalty after jumping the gun of 1 lap. He will have to continue around and finish 1 more lap. He was too early at the start of heat 1A. So working on the outside, I think the 8 with J. Michael Kelly found out something, and that is that won't work.
That you don't want to be on the outside. In fact, he's pretty much shut her down right now. Just kind of going in front of the fans down there, past the start-finish line, headed towards the pits. Now he picks it back up.
And the other question would be, where did the damage occur to Dave Billwalk in the 40? One would imagine, Kevin, it was probably towards you and Tire Factory turn number 2.
Well, I can tell you that when I looked down here, for lap, was it lap 2? He had fairings and a wing. But he came around for lap 3. He didn't.
Well,
so
maybe it was at the top end of the course.
I couldn't speak with any authority on to where it happened, but I could tell you that's where there was one time he had it and one time he didn't.
Yeah, and you know, Jimmy King was feathering the throttle at the start, and that last time that he pushed it down, he needed to back off of it instead, and I think he would have had a clean start.
Yeah, it looked close. It looked from here, which admittedly I don't have the best angle, but it looked close.
Welcome to a new edition of Capital Ideas Podcast.
We'll get a conversation with Dave. We'll certainly talk to Andrew, and we'll try and find out where the damage occurred and so forth, and we'll
Maybe they changed some things up, and hopefully they went the right direction for competition. Joining us on the broadcast, Jeff Winnie with Bosch Appliances, and I know that you're a big part of hydro racing. You've been coming to Tri-Cities for boat racing since the 70s.
50 years this year, minus last year. My brother and I been coming over every year. Got some great stories over the years.
What's your favorite part about racing in the Tri-Cities? And obviously you have the opportunity to be over at Seafair as well.
It's the people over here. It's the family. It's everybody comes together. Everybody loves boat racing. They all pitch in. All the teams, if somebody's not having a good day, they'll pitch in. And you're right here where the action is, you know?
Yeah, and it sounds like somebody needs to pitch in a rear wing for Dave Billwalk.
Yeah, I saw the damage. Great racing, but,
yeah,
you know, he's aggressive. He's never let off the throttle.
All right, Heat 1B getting underway. Jeff Winnie with Bosch Appliances. You'll find them at Bunch Finnegan, 90s Columbia Drive in Kennewick, and go to bunch.com. They're heading to Kevin, Tire Factory, turn 2.
3 boats right by me now. The 11, the 1, the 9, all right next to me. The 440, they'll be the last off the dock. It's working its way towards me now as they head down to the Griggs backstretch.
3 minutes and 56 seconds, 3:55.
Well, where do you want to be, Brad?
Golly, where do I want to be? I want to be out front at the end of the third lap. Going out on a limb on that one. You know, with this heat and the way it's set up and the way the qualifying played, I don't know how hard Jimmy wants to really go out there and fight for an inside lane. But to your point, Michael, Corey's got a fast boat. They put the right combination in it, and he'll have his hands full if he wants to try and drive. I don't know. I don't think we say this every year, and it's the old line. You can't win the Columbia Cup today, but you can sure as heck lose it. So nobody wants to do anything stupid here. Go out and get a bunch of points.
Heading down the front stretch to Bunch Finnegan turn number 1 is the blue Home Street, the U1 with Jimmy Shane into turn number 1 now, followed by Corey Peabody in the 9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting. Then you have Jamie Nielsen in the bright J&D's 11. And just into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, the 440 Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eccles onto the front stretch.
250.
The 11 is cutting across the course right now.
And Jimmy's going to go in front of him. He's going to come out of the corner in front of Corey Peabody. Jamie Nielsen in the 11.
So Nielsen will settle in on the Griggs backstretch over by the Home Street. Peabody will pass him up the backstretch. Oh, look at Dustin Eccles will go across the ESCO Electric infield now to the backside.
I forgot about Dustin. Keep an eye on Dustin. He'll probably put that thing on the far outside. 220 to the start.
Yeah. So Dustin generally does when he's out here is he'll just kind of stay out of everybody's way.
For now, you've got the 1 on the inside.
And they're going to go all the way around the race course. You watch. I don't think you're going to see anybody cut where they are right now at 2 minutes.
Yeah, but it'd be too early to cut front to back, wouldn't it?
I think it would. I think they're in really good shape. Right now they can squirt it a little bit and come down here and give us the lanes they're in right now, Michael, as they come by.
Well, lane number 1, you've got Jimmy Shane. Jamie Nielsen is probably in lane number 3. I mean, he's technically going to slide over and be in 2, but he's pretty far outside. And then in lane number 4, we'll call it, is Peabody in the 9. Eccles, lane 5, way outside as they come down the front stretch. There's just a lot of room right now, and it looks like they're kind of tightening the field up as they head down the front stretch to Bunch Finnegan turn 1.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a pretty quick start here because it's 1:20 until the start. You don't want to be here at 1:30. Well, they're down here at about 1:12. And Dustin Eccles in the 440 on the far outside is caught up with everybody. Shane in 1, Nielsen in 2, Peabody in 3, and on the far outside, Dustin Eccles.
Jamie Nielsen's getting caught right into the wash of Jimmy Shane, though.
1 minute.
Jimmy Shane was, I'm not sure what Jamie trying to do there. Nielsen was down below and getting into lane 1, getting caught in that wash, so.
Well, he'd been quite a ways outside on the front stretch, but lost some real estate heading through Tire Factory turn number 2 to the Griggs backstretch.
40 seconds.
Jimmy Shane in the Home Street, lane number 1 for the 1. The 11, Jamie Nielsen, J&D's, lane number 2. Corey Peabody in the 9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting, lane number 3 on the outside of the 440 Bucket List Racing, Dustin Eccles. Shane on the inside. Countdown to the start of Heat 1B. 20 seconds to start at the apex of turn number 3 to turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers at the exit man.
8 seconds.
Nielsen, Peabody, Eccles, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
3 seconds. 2, 1. Mark.
I don't know if Peabody was early, but he's leading the pack down the front stretch into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1 and lane number 3.
That's Corey Peabody with a lot of speed on the outside. We'll check on the start and see if he was legal. But boy, you want to talk about having a whole lot of speed off to your left. He's got Nielsen and Shane off to his left.
Shane just closed down
to pull away a little bit from Corey Peabody. And again, with lane number 1 position, he should have an easy time maintaining or extending the lead after going into Shell Sun Market turn 3 and Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Race leader is the 1, Jimmy Shane in the home straight. Pretty good corner up top, though, for Corey Peabody. And it looks like Peabody has kind of moved in a little bit because of the overlap. Now, Nielsen has fallen off the pace just out to the front stretch. Lap number 2 for Jimmy Shane, a 143.763 miles per hour.
Watch to see if Shane doesn't pull it away here. He dropped from 151 down to 143, and that allowed Corey Peabody to close the distance. But Corey still might win it.
Yeah, we still wait to hear the word on Corey Peabody.
It's a one-lap penalty.
One-lap penalty, okay.
He jumped the start.
So Jimmy Shane now knows that, I am sure. So Corey Peabody, as much as he's going to go neck to neck with this, it's unfortunately not for first place.
So at the backstretch, Jimmy Shane in the 1, the home straight, ready to dive into Shell Sun Market turn number 3 at the top end of the course. Peabody on the outside. He hasn't backed up and throttled one bit coming up the backstretch and into turn number 3. At the exit pin of turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers onto the front stretch. Jimmy Shane, the home straight. Corey Peabody did not back off at all. Amazing run as they come to the start-finish line. Checkered flag is out. And Jimmy Shane is going to take the victory. Peabody's got to take one more lap around. So Jamie Nielsen will get second place points in the J&Ds.
He gets a big win out of this, coming in with 300 points here. Second place. Good run for Jamie Nielsen. That's 225 big points, and all of a sudden, Corey Peabody comes home with a 169, assuming he finishes this extra lap. So there's a lot to be said about driving legal. You can have the fastest boat on the planet. We say it all the time, but it's got to be legal. I still like Jamie Nielsen in this U11, the J&Ds.
Well, he picks up some big points because of the mistake made at the start by Corey Peabody. That being said, Peabody, Kevin, throughout that entire race, didn't back down at
challenge at times, even though Tate was on the inside in the 1.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, Shane was on the inside in the 1.
No, but how much of that, and you know...
And Peabody able to finish the race and his final lap at 143.942 miles per hour.
And Peabody was right there with Shane, and I'm hoping that's more about Peabody than it is about Shane sort of backing off.
Sure.
To keep himself out of any trouble, but you know, you got to feel good if you're Corey Peabody because you were right there with the winner the whole time.
So running down our schedule, we've got more racing coming up shortly. At 4:10, the GP Americas will return. 5-liter racing scheduled for 4:30. And then at 4:50 this afternoon, Unlimited Heat 2A for the H1 Unlimiteds. And at 5:10, our final heat, the Heat 2B for the H1 Unlimited. So we've got a lot of action yet to come. A lot of action down in the Neil F. Lamson pits, and thanks to Brad Luce and Glenn Vaughan all day long down there providing the latest details from our drivers, crews, thanks to American Radiator, and we'll get the winner of Heat 1B, Jimmy Shane, in the 1, Home Street, lane number 1. And, you know, he took it from the moment, Kevin, he left the pits and did not relinquish lane number 1.
He didn't, and... And we talked about, you know, where do you want to be at the start? And Brad said in front at the end. And Jimmy Shane said, okay, I could do that. And said, I'll do it from lane 1, thank you.
Yeah, and nobody challenged.
Nope.
And honestly, the way the milling period set up, there wasn't a whole lot that anybody could do to take it away from him. I mean, he had it at the right time and the right place on the course to maintain it. Go ahead.
All right, we've got Jimmy Shane here. Jimmy, congratulations. It's got to feel good after the first heat.
Oh, yeah, the boat's running great. Handled that rough water in the first turn. I was not looking forward to going back to that first turn in Tri-Cities, knowing how rough the water gets on the first lap, and the boat just is amazing. It just floats right over that stuff, and we were able to hold lane 1, no issues, and I think it was a pretty clean heat for the Miss Home Street.
Talk to us about the importance of lane 1 for you and holding that position.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's the shortest way around the track. It's least distance that you have to cover to get to the end of the race, and so it's a big advantage if you can get lane 1. We, Jeff, on my radios, we had decent timing marks, and we were right where we wanted to be, and we were able to obtain lane 1, and then at that point just control the course. I figured Corey was just a touch early on the start from our timing marks, and so we just laid back a little bit. had a nice clean start, and everything worked out great.
Talk to us about that. The number 9's out in front of you, but around that first corner, you were able to just reel him in nice and slow. How did that process work?
Yeah, I wasn't sure until the second lap if he had jumped or not, and at that point you got to race. And so we ran hard on that first lap. We were able to pull up next to him, and he had even more of a challenge because Jamie was running fast in lane 2, so he had to leave Jamie room in lane 2. So he had a big race course to go around, and that's where the lane 1 comes to the big advantage.
Not a lot of time between now and the next round of heat, so what's on the itinerary?
Cool down, drink some water. The crew's going to switch, get the boat turned around really quick, and we're going to check the data, make sure we're all good, and we'll go on to the next set of heats.
All right, Jimmy Shane, thanks so much for the time.
You know, Glenn,
Hey, guys.
go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, if I can jump in, I'm going to chase down Jamie Nielsen, our second place finisher. He's talking with his 2 owners here, Scott and Shannon. Go ahead and finish. Go ahead. All right, you're good. You're pretty good, too. 300 points. It's a good way to start this thing.
Oh, yeah, we'll take it. But we know it's a long weekend, 4 heats, but, put the U11 J&Ds and tied for, 3rd place overall in points after the first heat. We'll take it, especially against some great competition out there in Jimmy and Corey and Dustin.
And we make the comment all the time. Obviously, you know it better than we do. You can't win this race on Saturday. You can't win it in the first heat. You can sure lose it. 300 points has got to look good.
For sure. Our goal out there in the first heat was just keep our nose clean. Don't make any mistakes, don't get any penalties. And, myself personally, I felt like I was right on that start line, maybe even pushing a little bit. And Corey was almost a full Richdale ahead of me. So, I had a feeling that first lap or two that he was probably over. And as soon as I got that radio call that he was, then I got the heck out of that tunnel because no one likes being in those.
That's just what I was going to say. You were driving down a hallway there for a while.
Oh, yeah. And when I heard it wasn't going to win me any more points, I got the heck out of there.
But Corey was giving you plenty of room?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of room. It's always a pleasure racing with him and Jimmy, and they're good, hard racers, but they give you a fair lane.
Go debrief with Scott, and we'll see you out here a little bit later. You got another one coming up quick.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brad.
All right, there you go, Jamie Nielsen.
Brad,
second place finisher. Yes, sir.
The most important thing he said is the other competitors give you a fair lane.
Yep.
And that's all you can hope for. And if you notice it, and I know it's completely different, but even when you're out on area roadways and you're driving with other traffic, I mean, it's a $3,000 to $5,000 pound vehicle that somebody else is piloting, and literally your life is in their hands based on the way they drive. Same out here on the river. Even more ramifications on water and their speed.
Yeah, there's speed involved. Yes.
Michael, the one thing I will say that there's a similarity between Tri-City drivers and boat racing. Nobody's using their blinker in either situation.
That's funny. Yeah, I've yet to get a fair lane in Tri-Cities, I'll tell you that.
Wow. Whoops.
You underneath the crane, Brad?
No, that was the fuel truck.
Oh.
Sheesh. You'd think I was sitting on the hood.
So the 3 with Jimmy King in Heat 1A, too early at the start. And honestly, it's been 2 years since he's been out there. And then the 9 with Corey Peabody, Pinnacle Peak Consulting, a little bit early in Heat 1B. How big is that as we move through the rest of the weekend?
Well, it's big. I mean, at least they score points, but it's big to a guy like Dustin Eccles, who's sitting back there in 4th place. Suddenly he's got a 3rd. And Jamie Nielsen, all of a sudden he gets 300 points. They're buoyed up a little bit, so...
Yeah, if you look at the points right now, I mean, Dustin Eccles is on the front row in the final. I mean, it's one heat, but, he gets to jump ahead of Corey Peabody and Jimmy King.
So our schedule will continue as we get ready for more racing on the way with the Grand Prix America Series and 5 leaders on the way next on News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com. Special thanks to ESCO Electric. They do great work, and they're your Generac whole home backup generator specialist in Tri-Cities. Call 547-5504 to make sure your power stays on. No brownouts or blackouts will affect you with Generac from ESCO Electric. Online at letsgowithesco.com. Griggs Ace Hardware, the Tri-Cities, and Griggs Department Store. 4 locations to help you, and they've got everything you need for summer fun. Also online at griggsonline.com. That's Griggs and Griggs Ace Hardware stores.
Return to?
No,
I think you might have heard me.
Oh, well, hey, Brad.
You're 35 seconds away from a 5-minute mark and the start of our Heat 2A.
And I know Kevin's having some heat issues over there.
well, that's my assumption is.
Right. And now, osprey alert over the Columbia River. That is one large osprey. Beautiful. Heading up towards the Neil F. Lamson pits now. It's not part of the Hapo Over the River Air Show, but that is spectacular.
We don't see it.
It'll be coming to you shortly, Brett. It's going to clear the point down towards the local 598 Plumber Steamfitters and IBEW tent where the Gold Star families are and head towards the Blue Bridge. You should see it now.
Nada. Well, 4:52, and here we go.
We've always questioned your eyesight.
I know. Look at this. We talk about, the late afternoon boats away from the dock. Boy, is this a big boats, a red boat, and a chartreuse and royal blue boat. And the chartreuse and royal blue boat takes off ahead of everybody. But, man, for a moment there, they were all stuck together in that late afternoon sun. Kevin, you know how much I enjoy that shot. But now they're coming right to you. Lots of color.
Oh, especially when you got the 11 coming out and the chartreuse and royal blue. At the 8 coming out after him. Whoa, bouncing out over the wake. The 9 after that, and the 12 going out wide.
And note the white wing on the 12 when it goes up there by you.
It is a little different, isn't it?
Yep.
It is. It looks like it doesn't quite fit exactly perfectly, but it fits well enough.
It fits good enough. All right, coming up on 3:50 to the start, Heat 1A.
Jay Nielsen dives into Golf Universe turn number 3. And we'll jump over to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, backing off the throttle a little bit, and the J&Ds in lane number 1.
Michael,
at least for now. Glenn Boggin.
You'll be happy to know the Osprey has finally made it over the pits and is continuing its eastbound momentum.
Exactly. He knew the boats were coming out. He knew the boats were coming. Oh, he's heading to Clover Island. Fantastic.
I just wish we'd have strapped a GoPro to him.
There you go.
Shot of the pits.
Boy, what a pretty picture right now. Graham trucking on the outside. Andrew Tate.
They are all slowing down.
Yeah, Miss Tri-Cities lane number 2 with J. Mike, and lane number 3, Corey Peabody and the Pinnacle Peak Consulting, and that's just a parade lap heading down. That looks like Dash for Cash almost.
It does kind of look like that. They're all set up now. Tate starts to give it a little bit of a squirt on the outside. We approach 2 minutes and 50 seconds. 2:50 until the start. Kevin, boy, there you go. Got a camera? Snap that one.
I walked away from my camera, but yes, it looks great. But I think Andrew Tate's going to try to get out front.
Who is going to make the move?
I think it's Andrew. I think he decided, I don't like this. I don't like being on the outside of these guys. I got to give it a squirt, get ahead of everybody, and then make some moves. So
but does he cut?
Through the ESCO Electric infield, anybody coming? Anybody going to come?
No. They're going to be worried about that 80 mile an hour.
Well, I think right now, sitting up there at 219, I think however they come off that corner, I'm going to be surprised if that's not how they come to the start-finish line. We are at 212 right now. And Andrew in one?
Yeah, well, yeah, he is. Yep, at the exit pin, a Buffalo Brothers turn 4.
But he is way out front.
Tate. Yep, and he's,
2 minutes.
He's going to have to do something.
He's fine, I think.
You really do?
Yeah, you don't want to be at the start-finish line. If you do the math on it, you'll find out you can't go 80 miles an hour for 2 minutes over a 2.5 mile area, but he's outside of that.
Is it J. Mike that does the old swerve? The S-curves. You're trying to...
So the issue now is going to be Jamie Nielsen is almost riding right in his wake.
Yep.
Who's going to have lane one? Well, at least now Tate's in front, right, and has it for now.
We'll see if he wants to. 130 right there.
But Nielsen's going to have to give up some real estate and come outside. He's lost his lane.
Or he cuts.
Now we keep an eye on Andrew here. See if he
cut. Because Andrew Tate couldn't cut. But does Jamie Nielsen? No.
Can do it. Boat on the inside.
Yeah, but look at Tate burn some time. Go a little bit later.
Yeah. And he went wide.
110 to our start.
Out wide. Back into lane one. This is where he won from in that heat 1A. And now I think the rest of the boats are going to shift out.
1 minute.
One lane.
So Tate in lane one as he comes up the backstretch. Lane two, it looks like it's going to be Jamie Nielsen. They gave him room. J. Michael Kelly moves out to lane number 3. And Corey Peabody on the outside in lane number 4.
Tate's still way out front.
40 seconds. 40 seconds.
Well, he can take it slow. He won't have boat speed as much as he would like probably at the start-finish, but lane number 1's a pretty good place to be. Andrew Tate into Golf Universe turn number 3. Jamie Nielsen,
they're good.
J&Ds will be in lane number 2. Miss Tri-Cities, lane number 3 with J. Michael Kelly. Pinnacle Peak Consulting, lane number 4 with Corey Peabody. All the boats emerge at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers, turn number 4 on the front stretch. Brad with our countdown.
We are inside 5. We're 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Mark.
And it is clean, and the boat speed appears to be on the outside. It's J. Michael Kelly in lane number 3 leading down the front stretch. Peabody in second place on the outside.
Yeah, boy, look at J. Mike get down here with a lot of air underneath the 8 from lane number 3. Got speed off to his left, but man, he brought a lot of power down here, Kevin.
Oh, he's good. He looks really strong, but you know who looks strong too? The 11 and the 12, both on the inside, staying within that rooster tail of the 8.
Yeah, they had the shorter course around, Kevin, and they came out and had the lead for a moment. But, boy, look at J. Michael Kelly in lane number 3, starting to pull away a little bit on the backstretch. Tate's trying to reel him back in the 12, the Graham Trucking. Nielsen falling back a little bit in the J&Ds in lane number 2. Peabody, can't see him. I believe he's fallen back on the outside. We'll pick him up as he comes off the exit pin at turn number 4. Yep, he has. He's fallen way off the pace now. Race leader, it looks like it's almost deck to deck now. Tate on the inside, J. Michael Kelly on the outside, and J. Michael Kelly really has a lot of boat speed. Nielsen is climbing back into this and may take over second place by the time they get to Butch Finnegan, turn number 1.
Yeah, Kelly's leaving a lot of room in there for Nielsen. He's driving down the hallway, but it's a pretty wide hallway right now. But it is Kelly down here first with a couple of outlings.
Yeah, but Jake is making up that and it's going to maybe take the lead into the Griggs backstretch, but he has to slow down, and so J-Mike with his boat speed able to get back the lead as they head back.
Yeah, Peabody has fallen back up the Griggs backstretch. The race leader right now on the backstretch is J. Michael Kelly in the 8 Miss Tri-Cities. Second place on the inside, lane number 1, that's going to be Tate in Graham Trucking. Jamie Nielsen has fallen back off the pace. He's now a rooster tail behind Tate in the 12. Now, the real question is, can Peabody catch up and take over third place in the 9? That's who pin onto the front stretch. It's going to be J. Michael Kelly with the race lead. Tate challenging on the inside, but falling back a little bit. The white flag is out. The race leader, J. Michael Kelly, and the Miss Tri-Cities down the front stretch into Butch Finnegan, turn number 1.
Yeah, all of a sudden with Nielsen dropping back, Kelly's been able to tighten it up on Tate, and that's the difference right now. He's driving lane 2 instead of lane 4.
And that has been a huge benefit to him because no longer does Tate have all that inside distance, that shorter distance. And J. Michael Kelly's got just only a slight longer track. He's able to maintain that boat speed in lane 2 and fly down the backstretch.
Tate gained a little bit of ground through Tire Factory turn number 2, but J. Michael Kelly starting to pull away coming up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. Into Golf Universe turn number 3 at the top end of the course. On the inside, Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking. Can he gain more ground on the inside? The checkered flag is out for Heat 2A. He will not be able to catch J. Michael Kelly at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities takes the checkered flag in Heat 2A. Second place will go to Tate in the Graham Trucking. The battle for third continues. Peabody on the outside. On the inside, Nielsen. Jamie Nielsen and the J&Ds will take third, and the fourth place for Peabody in the Pinnacle Peak Consulting number 9. fantastic run. And, you know, we talked about how good the E350 races were, how good the Grand Prix America races were. That was a fantastic unlimited heat of racing. So, your winner will be the 8 with J. Michael Kelly, Miss Tri-Cities. And a second place finish for the 12, Andrew Tate in the Graham. Third place, the 11 J&Ds with Jamie Nilsson and Corey Peabody in the Pinnacle Peak Consulting finishes in fourth place.
So important for Mike to get into lane 2, I think.
You know, the other important part on that, it was a clean race. Nobody made a mistake.
Yeah, no, I to start looking through, well, again, I don't have the greatest angle. It looked great. But yeah, I like getting down to lane 2. It was just so important for him, I think, to not have that 2-lane difference. That 1-lane difference, you're still going a longer way, but at least you're knocking down the distance, the difference.
Fastest lap was the 8 J. Michael Kelly, Miss Tri-Cities, in lap number 1, 154 miles per hour and change in competition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was for the 8?
Yeah.
Oh, and I was just about to make the comment that, yeah, he was running in lane 3 from the perspective that there were 2 boats inside of him, but he was running that thing in about lane 5. You talked about it being a clean race, and it was very, very clean. I made the comment, I think, at one point that Nielsen was driving down the hallway, but it was a pretty darn wide hallway. And so to run a speed like that out as far as he was, that's cooking.
Yeah, 154.62 miles per 8. 154. Countdown clock as we get ready for Heat 2B. And a reminder, after our wrap-up here on the river, the Hydro wrap-up show, the Rooster Tail wrap-up with Frank Cooper from the News Radio 610 K1A studios. And we will have all of the day's highlights thanks to Jason Hogue at American Family Insurance. And we've had a lot of great racing in all classifications of boats. Thanks to Jason Hogue, American Family Insurance. Did you know that AmFam achieved the highest customer satisfaction score among mid-size insurers in the 2021 J.D. Power Insurance Shopping Satisfaction Study? Why settle for number 2? Contact Jason Hogue with AmFam today at jasonhogue.com.
Michael?
Yes?
They just spun down the crane on the 3 and unhooked it.
Oh, good.
No, unhooked it.
Oh, back on the trailer.
Yeah, it's... The swing's off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not good.
There'll be a 3-boat.
Going to be a 3-boat heat.
Wow.
And
well, Jimmy King didn't get any points for jumping the gun, and now he'll miss out on points in Heat 2B.
yeah, and we are coming up on 5 minutes. We're 5 seconds away. Sorry about that.
2.
We'll follow that story.
1. Mark. 5 minutes.
So you got a watch going too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. You know, it's just disappointing that he won't be out there.
So 2 orange boats and a blue one.
Kicking away from the dock, heading to Tire Factory turn number 2, Kevin Rounce.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane in the Home Street Blue trying for a perfect Saturday. Top qualifier, won first heat. Now he's going to try to win Heat 2B. And you go perfect on the first 3 events. That's a pretty setup.
Pretty solid, yeah.
40 goes right in front of me first.
So 440 heading up the back stretch that is. The
That's-
one with
that's
Jimmy
the
Shane.
40.
No, I'm sorry, the 40, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 440's just now away from the dock.
And then the blue.
Coming up on 4 minutes. 4 minutes to the start, right about now.
And just checking out Bill Walk's boat. The fairings are fine, and it's a wing reattach. Is that white in color?
Well,
Yeah.
excuse me, that's what we decided. We decided it was white.
I think so.
Yeah, we kind of had a bad angle of it. But yeah, I think it's white.
It is.
And, geez, cutting the race course. How about that?
He did, and there was a bird that had to get out of the way very quickly.
Better teach that bird the start sequence that Dave Villwalk uses. It usually involves a few of those.
So the Beacon Plumbing down the front stretch, heading into the bottom end of the course. At Bunch Finnegan turn number 1, over to Tire Factory turn number 2 at the top end of the course. Hello, fans from Buffalo Brothers. Best fans around hydroplane racing. at the west end of the course. Exit pin at turn number 4. Jimmy Shane. And Jimmy has already decided that lane 1 would be a good place for him.
It worked last time.
Coming across at 2:55. Coming across start-finish line, so still a long way to go. Keep an eye on Dave, see if he doesn't go up the top end and bring it around again, but I don't think he will.
Dustin Eccles on the outside in the 440, bucket list racing.
Jimmy might cut here.
Yeah, he's slowing down, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's backed off the throttle quite a bit. Bill Walk is through the ESCO electric infield to the front stretch.
Well, I'm going to stop trying to crawl in ahead of these guys. I got both of those wrong. Looking at 2:25 now until the start.
And Dustin Eccles going out way wide. Well, lane 5 or so, way out there.
Watch Dave. Nope, going to come all the way.
So Jimmy Shane up the back stretch. The Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, 4 locations to help you. Eccles is going to put the throttle in it at the 2-minute mark and head to the top end of the course. Will he dive to the infield here?
And this is where will Dave Villwock cut in here. If we're under 2 minutes to go. See, he was hanging out in 2.
Here he comes. Is that him coming across?
Yeah, you're going to have Jimmy Shane come across the ESCO electric infield.
No, prevent Villwock from doing it.
And Bill Walk's going to do the same. And let's see who's going to jump into lane number 1 as we get to the JMC Motorsports start-finish line. Bill Walk has claimed lane number 1 now.
Wow.
Jimmy Shane will be in lane number 2.
He gunned it.
And it looked like he turned onto the race course upriver of the start-finish line, and on my map, that's a good move.
So all the votes now into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
At $1.10 to the start, 110.
Countdown continues for the start of Heat 2B to wrap up our first day of racing in the 2021 Apo Columbia Cup.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Jimmy Shane hanging way back of the 2 orange boats. The 40 with Bill Walk on the inside. The 440, Dustin Eccles on the outside, and Shane in the middle in the home straight. To the score-up buoy on the back stretch. Dustin Eccles on the outside. Now remember, they'll have the long trip around on the outside. But Jimmy Shane hanging back in lane number 2, just to that score-up buoy on the back stretch.
Yep, just to reiterate, whatever lane they're in, when they enter that corner, that's the lane they have to run in. 23 seconds, Mike.
Dustin Eccles way on the outside. You've got Jimmy Shane in the middle. He'll be in the hallway, and Dave Villwock on the inside with a great move through the ESCO electric infield to claim lane number 1. All the boats onto the front stretch with the countdown continuing to the start of Heat 2B.
3, 2, 1. Mark.
It is a clean start. Bill Walk on the inside, but really good momentum for Jimmy Shane on the outside. They are deck to deck, heading down the front stretch into Bunch Finnegan turn number 1.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy Shane is not running away from Dave Villwock. We'll see what kind of a corner Dave can get, but they're close together, Kevin.
Jimmy is flying, though.
Jimmy Shane had an incredible turn number 2, and at the exit pin already had a half a rooster tail lead over Dave Villwock. Through the turn, Jimmy Shane was just perfect with full boat speed. Now Villwock is back almost a rooster tail as they head up in turn number 3 with our Shell Sun Markets. On the inside, Bill Walk. On the outside, Jimmy Shane. Shane with a almost rooster tail lead now as they get to the exit pin of turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers. Onto the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane with a rooster tail lead over Dave Villwock. Shane pulled away through the bottom end turn to leave Dave Villwock a rooster tail behind now.
Yeah, it's a full rooster tail as they come down here. It is all Jimmy Shane. At some point, Dave Villwock's going to make a move to go into the outside, and he just did it. Dave Villwock has moved to the outside. He's going to give up the fight and pick up 300 points. Look at Shane. He's just running beautifully.
Yeah, and he's starting to hug the buoy line, too. I don't know if he heard about J-Mike's time and wants to beat it, but he's just absolutely a rocket ship right now.
Well, when you list the boats that have the potential to beat Jimmy Shane, I think you could probably now remove the 40. Well, on the backstretch, it's a 3 Rooster Tail lead now for Jimmy Shane heading into the Shell Sun Market turn number 3 at the top end of the course. Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Jimmy Shane has extended his lead with a near perfect turn. A little bit of rough water at the exit pin, but he's fine. On to the front stretch.
Maybe tomorrow we'll get an opportunity to see the 1 and either the 8 or 1 and the 12.
I wanted to see the 1 and the 3 out there, honestly. And it's just a shame we don't have Jimmy King in the Griggs Ace Hardware boat.
Jimmy coming down here to the lower corner on the third and final lap here of our Heat 2.
White flag is out. And Dustin Eccles in third place with some big points for the 440 bucket list.
Some rough water down here right now. But Jimmy gets through it without too much trouble.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles backing off the throttle coming across that start-finish line. That's interesting. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue. He's losing power on the front stretch.
Yep, and he's way on the outside of the race course, and he is turning to the outside of the race course. He's throwing in the towel.
Yeah, top end of the course. It's the final 2 turns in our 4-corner super speedway. Shell Sun Market turn number 3. Jimmy Shane in the home street. In Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, swinging a little bit farther out wide. A photo op for the Buffalo Brothers crew down there on the west end of the course. To the front stretch, Jimmy Shane in the U1 home street takes the checkered flag at the JMC Motorsports start-finish line. Second place for Dave Billwalk in the Beacon Plumbing, the 40. And Dustin Eccles, unfortunately, losing power on the front stretch after completing lap number 2. We'll get a DNF. Big points for Jimmy Shane. And Dave Billwalk gets a much-needed boost on the points because he didn't get any after Heat 1.
Yeah, and I think also Dave Billwalk in that heat, he learned a lot. He and Kelly, I think, probably learned a lot. He got himself on the inside of Jimmy Shane. He ran him hard into the corner. He ran him hard through the corner for 1 lap. Up here running pretty quick. Have boats on the water. I heard you talking about the U3, Mitch Evans.
Pinnacle Peak Consulting, both of the Strong Racing Team boats. 11 J&Ds with Jamie Nilsson, and the 12 Graham Trucking with Andrew Tate in Heat 3B, which will be after the Hapo Over the River Air Show. Countdown getting underway as we head back down to the pits, and our American Radiator pit reporters, we see the boats being positioned as they will push off from the dock.
First boat away from the dock, the U3, the Griggs Ace Hardware, Jimmy King. Good to see them come off the top end. The other dock, next boat away from the dock, coming out almost together, Dave Billwalk in the U40, the Beacon Plumbing, Jimmy Shane in the U1, the Miss Home Street. The 440 bucket list is still sitting at the dock, but oh, Kevin, here we go. You've got some great-looking race boats coming at you. Water conditions are absolutely perfect. The flag atop the Blue Bridge is hanging straight down. Let's go racing, guys. It's race day at the Hapo Columbia Cup.
And Jimmy King early on, right there against the buoy line. Dave Billwalk goes out way wide, but comes back down, gets into lane 2. Jimmy Shane taking a little more direct route than the 40. He'll come out, bounce around through the wake, and hang out lane 2 as well. And then here comes Dustin Eccles down the Griggs back stretch. And the 440. So all 4 boats up, running. All 4 boats. It's going to look like they're going to start.
Looks like a driver's parade.
They are pretty separated.
Yeah, they are. They've got all of them have 3 rooster tail length leads.
Jimmy King would be more than content if that's how it finished.
Yeah, you're right, I guess. Hey, somebody's cutting across the infield, everybody. Guess who?
Hey, guess who? Looks like a lot of orange up there.
Dave Billwalk, already to the front stretch and claiming lane number 1. It's early.
He jumps in front of, it looks like Jimmy King.
Yeah, King's going to slide back over to the inside. We're going to have a little wake to deal with for Jimmy King.
And he'll be okay. We're
Yeah,
still
no question.
3:15 to the start.
At the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers Turn 4 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch on Home Street. And the 440 with Dustin Eccles back down to Tire Factory turn number 2, Kevin Rounds.
Bill Walk and Jimmy King both come all the way down here. Bill Walk a little bit wide out there. Jimmy King a little tighter to the buoy. Both a little bit different positions in terms of timing. Jimmy King not quite yet done with lane 1. We'll see if he decides he wants to cut over at some point.
I think, Brad, it's fascinating the way we have 2 boats on the back and 2 on the front now. And how they're all going to end up together is just what this exciting milling period is all about.
Yeah.
Bill Walk across the ESCO Electric infield.
That's what I was just going to say. So, yeah, you got Shane and Eccles down here at the bottom end of the race course, and now we've split our other 2 boats because Dave did what Dave does. And if that's a good statement, very Vilwalk-esque.
Are we about 2 minutes?
We are 2:15. 2:15 to that. Here goes Dave again.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane cut a lot of power there, too, so this is where you have to watch for the beacon on the top.
Oh, boy. Watch Dave. Watch Dave, because here we are at 2 minutes.
He'll have to go past the midway point before he can cut over.
But if he does, he would be able to get in front of Jimmy and be cool. He's at $1.50 right now.
You know who might be in the catbird seat on all this?
Jimmy Shane cuts.
But now here comes Dave.
Dave's going to try to get back to the front stretch in front of him.
Looks like yesterday, got to go around that start buoy. He does. It looks good from here.
It was really close, too, to that buoy.
You know who's in the catbird seat on all this? Oh, now he's cutting. I thought Jimmy King might be in a prime position to take that lead.
He's early.
He would have been very early because we just now stepped inside 130. So we're at 125. Dave is going to sit in 1. Watch for King to go up, and he'll cut the course across the top end.
He's going at near full speed at this point, trying to get over there.
That might play out okay for him as he gets up and will probably cut in, and he will. He comes around to the front stretch across the ESCO Electric infield. So on the back stretch, they're right in front of you, Kevin Rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave Billwalk, lane 1, Jimmy Shane, lane 2. Actually, he's trying to hang out in the lane 1. Not sure how he can keep it there, but he's hanging out in the wake of the Billwalk.
He can go again.
Well, Jimmy King's going to cut across ESCO field, infield to the back stretch.
He'll be fine. He's just going to be wide. 43 seconds.
Now the question is it Billwalk in 1? Looks like it. Billwalk in 1, and then you've got Jimmy Shane in lane number 2. Lane number 3, it's going to be the bright red 3, Griggs Ace Hardware on the Griggs backstretch. In lane 3, Eccles will push outside into lane number 4. Clock counting down, and we're at about 20 seconds to the apex. And on the Buffalo Brothers turn number 4.
Seconds.
Billwalk in 1, Shane in 2. Now we start to see King in 3. And on the outside, Eccles. Boy, what a pretty picture coming off the exit bed. Onto the front stretch.
2, 1, mark.
And it is a clean start down the front stretch. Jimmy King is leading. In lane number 3, on the inside of him, you've got Jimmy Shane, and in lane number 1, Billwalk as they head to turn number 1.
Yeah, Billwalk could be in a tough spot here. He's in lane 1 as they come down to the corner. It's going to get tight for him in there, Kevin.
Oh, but Billwalk, he got a little too loose there, I think, and Jimmy Shane able to get a rooster tail lead in the back. Now the battle's going to be for second. Jimmy King showing some power down the Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, he is. He really had a better turn. Dave Billwalk hit the slop on the inside and backed out of the throttle. He did not have a good run. And Butch Finnegan turn number 1 into Tire Factory turn number 2 up the Griggs backstretch. It's Jimmy Shane in the lead as he dives into Shell Sun Market turn number 3 over to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 and onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Billwalk is on the inside with a shorter course around, but Jimmy Shane has the boat speed and the momentum. The race becomes for second place with Jimmy King in the Griggs Ace Hardware on the outside, Billwalk on the inside in the 40 Beacon Plumbing. Jimmy King is going to pull even with Billwalk as they come down the front stretch for second place.
Yeah, Jimmy King's in a tough spot. He's going to pull up alongside Dave Billwalk, but he's driving a big course. Now, watch Shane. He can move over on Billwalk, but I don't think he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's hanging out much better turn that time. Now he's got about a rooster tail on Jimmy King. Jimmy King drops down into lane 2. Trying to shorten the distance for himself and gain on the 40.
And he's trying to pull back inside and get up with Dave Villwock on the back stretch, but Villwock with a wonderful run up the Griggs back stretch, and he'll dive into the Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3 and hold on to second place with King on the outside, back about a rooster tail, maybe a half a rooster tail now. Lead for second place with Dave Villwock. The race leader across the start-finish line now is Jimmy Shane with 1 lap to go in Heat 3A. Second place, Dave Villwock, like almost a rooster tail, coming down the front stretch. But Jimmy King's going to try to reel him in. I don't know if he's going to have enough real estate to catch him.
But he's in a lot better spot right now because no longer is Villwock in lane 1. He's outside of Shane. So right now from a lane position, King is tighter.
Transfer your IRA or old 401k and get a 3% boost only with Robinhood Gold through April 30th.
To Villwock.
And Villwock is out wide. He's about lane 3 or 4. Jimmy King, though, is riding even bigger course. Villwock, much better turn again. Now he's got about a rooster tail and a half, 2 rooster tail lead on Jimmy King.
Yeah, Dave Villwock really settled his boat down in the last 2 laps, the last 2 trips around the Bunch Finnegan turn 1 into Tire Factory turn number 2 at the bottom end of the course, and he's able to pull away from Jimmy King with over a rooster tail lead now for second place. The race leader is coming off the Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 exit pin on the Payne West Insurance front stretch, and the checkered flag is out. One more time for Jimmy Shane in the U1 home straight, and a 3A victory for Jimmy Shane. Dave Villwock onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch, and Jimmy King jumped back inside of him and had an opportunity to gain some ground, but Villwock's going to hold on to second. Third place will go to the 3, Griggs Ace Hardware with Jimmy King. Dustin Eccles still coming up the Griggs backstretch, and he'll dive into the Shell Sun Market, turn number 3, and come around for 4th place point. It's in the 440 Bucket List Racing. So Jimmy Shane will get the victory as the boats head back to the Neil F. Lamson pits. And the excitement, Kevin Rounce, was all at that milling period, and it was quite a lot of fun to see who was going to end up where.
We joked about the repeat from yesterday's final, and we saw a near repeat of the move that Dave Villwock used.
And Brad knows this. I mean, the cockpit on these boats is not spacious in any stretch of the imagination.
Not by any stretch of the imagination, and it gets really, really tight in there, and as we've been talking and as we've been hearing, it gets very, very hot in there. So Jeff Bernard just cruised up to the top of the tower. He was normally on the phone, or on the radio there with Jimmy Shane. We just saw Jimmy Shane exit the pit area, and so Jeff's just gone up to have a look and see what the competition looks like in this particular heat. But yeah, it must get awfully. I mean, just in these driver's suits, it is hot. Well, but then you cramp them into these tiny, tiny cockpits and then close off a complete supply of any outside air. That sounds wonderful.
No, it doesn't. And we're fortunate because, you know, we're wearing shorts and a polo shirt, and we're outside in the open air, and it's completely different. Can you even imagine putting on a driver's suit right now, Brad?
Oh, it would be brutal. Absolutely brutal. I wouldn't want to be just wearing what I'm wearing and standing out in the hot sun for an extended period of time, although I guess that's what Glenn and I have been doing. But, yeah, it's hot now. Gee, I'm looking at umbrellas up here on top as I make my way up to the top of the tower. 6 minutes, 15 seconds, guys. 6:15 to the start. So just a little over a minute away from having boats on the water for Heat 3B at the Hapo Columbia Cup.
Heat 3A went to Miss Home Street with Jimmy Shane. Second place for the 3, Miss Ace Hardware with Jimmy King. Beacon Plumbing had the DQ disqualification. Lost all points because of going below 80 miles per hour for greater than 5 seconds in the milling period. So no points for Dave Villwock in Heat 3A and the 440 bucket list.
Hey, Michael,
Justin Eccles takes third. Yes.
Sorry, I was just
I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was just going to have a follow-up on, we were talking about how hot it must be in the cockpit. Go put your car in the sun.
Oh, it is.
And
it's terrible.
Go climb in it right now. For what? These guys are going to be out through the 5-minute period, then another 5 minutes. Just go sit in it for 10 minutes, see if it gets a little warm, and then do it with a big black driver suit on. It'd be miserable.
No, it would not be.
No.
Not be good at all. And we're hearing some noise. Getting ready for Heat 3B. About 1 minute. In 5, 4, 3, 2. They starting to move away, guys?
Should be. Noses are out. The 8, the 9, the 12, the 11. In that order. From west to east. And all 3 of them are coming together. Good photo op. A couple of photos. Oh, this is a beauty.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible. They're all coming out at pretty much the same time.
And then here goes Jamie Nielsen. He'll jump out in front of the pack in the 11. He wants to be over there. First going to bring JMK with him. Then it's Corey. And Andrew Tate will bring him up for long.
Yeah, as I say, Corey Peabody kind of went over and jumped right in front of the 12. But now we've got 2 boats going up the Griggs backstretch. Andrew Tate.
Backstretch with some authority.
Yeah, Andrew Tate is taking his time. He is going way out wide in that Graham Trucking.
So up into Shell Sun Market, turn number 3. On the inside is the Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly. On the outside, the J&Ds, the brightest boat in the fleet with Jamie Nielsen, the 11th. And they'll come into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 and onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Now entering Shell Sun Market turn number 3, top end of the course, is the 9 Pinnacle Peak Consulting with Corey Peabody. And cutting through the Esco Electric infield is Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking to the front stretch.
3:30 to the start.
How does this disqualification of Dave Billwalk affect these drivers and how they're paying attention to their speed during the milling period, Brad?
Well, they know that they've got to be very careful is what it means. They know that they're checking the black boxes, and the third component, it's not just N2s, it's not just fuel flow, it is speed. And so they know you make a mistake, it's going to get caught, and it's not worth it. It's not giving up a second, third, even a 4th place finish. Here comes Corey. Corey's going to go across the other side, jump in front of JMK.
So Corey Peabody through the Esco Electric infield to the Griggs backstretch.
They had all the 8 and the 11 had backed way off down the front stretch, and so Corey Peabody was like, I can get in front of you guys.
Coming up on about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to the start of Heat 3B.
Hey, Brad.
Yes.
Another question for you. So, Andrew Tate, not the first driver today we've seen take these incredibly wide turns to get into the track and not doing it really at a very brisk pace. When do you need to start being above 80 miles per hour?
Once you enter the race course, once you basically go across those white outside course markers, after you leave the pit area, you've got to maintain 80 miles an hour.
Up to the top end of the course. All the boats have assembled there. And at the exit pit first, Corey Peabody in the 9 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch, followed by his teammate, J. Michael Kelly in the 8, followed by the 11, Jamie Nielsen, and then Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking. Down at the exit pit of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4.
Will any of them jump?
Well,
or cross over?
Keep an eye on Corey because he's going. He didn't want to do it. He was going to get down here too early, and he's now going to jump over to the backstretch. Watch him go up to the top end of the course, cut one more time.
He jumped inside the GP course, though. Can you jump inside the GP course?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, as long as he cleared the first buoy after the start-finish line.
All right. Wide open right there. Now he's going to come back, and he'll take another short turn and jump through the Esco Electric infield and come back around to the front stretch.
It's possible he may go again, but right now, like we were talking about, who is going to get lane 1? JMK sitting in it right now, right in front of you, Kevin.
He doesn't look like, and he's going to beat Corey Peabody. So Corey Peabody tries to jump in again.
Peabody jumps through.
He's going to try. It's going to be a race to the spot, though, between 2 teammates. And Peabody's going to get there first.
Yeah, but let's watch his position on the course as we get ready for the start and watch his speed.
And right now, the loser in all this, 12, which is currently sitting at lane 4.
He's going to be on the outside, but he might be in the best position from a boat speed position, coming about 30, 35 seconds.
Peabody in 1, Kelly in 2, Nielsen in 3, Tate in 4 as they come up to the top end of the course. Countdown is on for Heat 3B. 25 seconds. Watch the speed.
Here comes Andrew.
Yeah, he's going to have a boatload of speed on the outside, isn't he? Exit pin, turn number 4 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Peabody. He's in lane number 1. J. Michael Kelly in 2. Jamie Nielsen in 3. Tate in lane 4. It is a clean start, at least from our vantage point. Boat speed is on the outside with Tate, but watch J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2.
Wow, what a good-looking start coming down the front straight area. We had 4 wide, but JMK with a whole lot of speed from lane 2. Gonna get down here first, Kevin.
He's bouncing off the water off some rollers right now, and he's got the lead by about almost a rooster tail. Andrew Tate, though, battling Corey Peabody for second as they go down the Griggs backstretch.
It is a clean start. We have the official word. It is a clean start. J. Michael Kelly with the race lead, heading up the Griggs backstretch with a half a rooster tail lead right now. And it looks like he'll get into turn number 3 at the entrance pin down. Watch Peabody in the inside lane. He'll have the shorter course around. Water off the skid pin as they get to the apex. Coming out of turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. It's going to be J. Michael Kelly with the lead, Peabody in second, Tate in third. The race now becomes for that second place spot with Tate on the outside. Can he reel in Peabody? Yes, and Tate is going to pass in the Graham Trucking coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, but he's riding out about lane number 4, maybe 5. Kelly's going to get down here first by a rooster tail, but it is Peabody down here first, but only by a boat length on Tate. Tate's on the outside.
And they're hitting some rough waters. Corey Peabody handles it well. Tate goes way wide. So Corey Peabody off the corner first. He's got about a half a rooster tail lead on Andrew Tate.
And he actually made a little ground on J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities number 8 on that turn. It was a spectacular turn. Now you can see Tate on the outside. He's trying to catch back up with Peabody, but that's going to be a tough one, especially way outside in lane number 4. They get to the top end of the course. Can Peabody catch J. Michael Kelly? He's going to give it a good run on the top end of the course. As they get to the exit pin, they're nearly deck to deck. Now it's going to be about a 4 boat length lead right now for J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities. Coming down the front stretch, J. Michael Kelly with the lead. A half a rooster tail back is Peabody, and a full rooster tail back is Andrew Tate in the Graham Trucking. The white flag is out. Jamie Nielsen in 4th place across start finish now.
And Nielsen back.
Ace is the only national hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 4,000 stores. And only Ace offers the extra mile
I think the world is what we make of it. So the energy that we put out, we get in return.
I think he got out of the tunnel. But Corey Peabody putting it on here at the inside. Gets through the back quarter panel of JMK, but he's able to get the gas on it as he ain't. And he's got about a half a rooster tail lead down the backstretch.
This could be a really tight Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn 3 and Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 for Peabody, who's trying to gain on his strong racing teammate J. Michael Kelly. Kelly on the outside, Peabody on the inside. A rooster tail back is Andrew Tate way on the outside. Now watch the turn. Can Peabody catch his teammate by the exit pin? It doesn't look like it. It was a really smooth run for J. Michael Kelly on the outside in the Miss Tri-Cities. Coming down the Payne West Insurance front stretch to the JMC Motorsports start-finish line, and a checkered flag for the 8th Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly. 2nd place for Pinnacle Peak Consulting, Corey Peabody in the 9. Andrew Tate will take 3rd in the Graham Trucking, and Jamie Nielsen of the J&D's Hydraulics will take 4th place in Heat 3B. That was a good run, and there was an opportunity for Peabody to grab his teammate and maybe pass him on the inside lane, Kevin, but that was just too much horsepower on the outside, too much power on the outside for the Miss Tri-Cities. It did not relinquish the lead.
And JMK, of course, knows very much how to win here. He's done it before, and while he's in a new boat, he certainly has the wherewithal on how to do it, but that 8 boat looking really, really good. as we head into heats 4A, B, and the final.
And maybe one of the most entertaining milling periods that we've had.
Yeah, Corey well, and we were looking at who would get lane number 1. It ended up being Corey Peabody, and I think that helped him a great deal. He was able to stay really kind of just in the rooster tail of the 8, not really lose too much ground, but JMK is very fast, and I think what we saw too is that Andrew Tate is not as good on the outside. He's going to have to be in that lane 1 or 2 if he wants to be competing in the final.
Yeah, well, we had seen that earlier, and I think you're right. That inside lane, depending on who is on the outside of you, that's going to be key. But J. Michael Kelly has definitely has the ability.
I'm not sure who's going to let the groundhog ride their boat, but, Michael, I'm kind of disappointed. We were talking earlier this afternoon about how there might be a little bit of a breeze.
Yeah, there's not.
There is not a breath down here. I mean, Old Glory on the Blue Bridge is not moving at all.
Nope.
There's nothing down here. So it is toasty, but the boats are in the water, and they're getting ready because we're already within the 5 of the 5.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
We're at 5:40. 5:40 until the start. I talked to Big Ed Preston. They are done for the day.
Oh, that's a
and he
shame.
says the bracket, they have to build a whole new bracket in the way it has to be heat treated and everything that has to be done to it. He said, we will be scrambling to get to Owensboro. That's at the end of August, so it's a mess.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
20 seconds to having boats on the water.
Frank Cooper joins me here at the start-finish line on the Brunswick Memorial Barge. Rooster Tail wrap-up show, all the highlights.
Yes, sir. Everything we've got that's worth mentioning through the day, which is actually tough because you guys do such a great job.
There's a lot to cover.
It gives me a lot to cover, and so it takes a lot of restraint and discretion to make sure I can put the thing together and just give you the best of the best, because there's just so much good stuff going on today and some really great racing. I got to say, personally, I'm disappointed to see that Big Ed and his team have to call it a day. They were doing some really great racing and really giving Greg Hoff a run for his money there.
It was a fun one in the E350 class. That final's going to be a blast. But let's go unlimited hydroplane racing on the Columbia River. Kevin Rounce, the boats are heading to you.
That's the U3, Jimmy King and the Turbinator going to be first up here. The Tire Factory turn 2. Dave Bilbach going out wide. Getting that sort of straight shot down the backstretch. Jimmy Shane coming out.
Water, and they're getting ready because we're already within the 5 of the 5. Oh, yeah, we're at 5:40. 5:40 until the start. I talked to Big Ed Preston. They are done for the day. That's a he says the bracket, they have to build a whole new bracket the way it has to be heat treated and everything that has to be done to it. He said, we will be scrambling to get to Owensboro. That's at the end of August, so it's a mess.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
20 seconds to having boats on the water.
Frank Cooper joins me here at the start-finish line on the Brunswick Memorial Barge. Rooster Tail wrap-up show.
TV in front of her so she can see this thing. She would watch this religiously. My grandpa used to be sitting there, look at this food. And my grandmother was sitting there happy as hell.
Is the sun shine or what?
Yes, yeah, my grandpa was.
Right.
Infield and come to the front stretch now. Jimmy King will stay out and go through the Firehouse Subs turn 3 and around to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4.
It's going to be Jimmy Shane, looks like, on lane 1. Unless Vilwalk can play a little bit of possum here and cut the course.
Well, we're at about a $1:15, aren't we?
Yeah, 1:15 right now. So
Jimmy Shane in 1, Vilwalk in 2. Where is Jimmy King going to go?
Well, he could cut it, but I don't know that he can cut it fast enough.
This could be good. Jimmy could get over there now if he wanted to go.
Is he going to go? He's not.
He's going to bring it all the way down.
In fact, we're getting some speed. These boats are getting a little to full throttle. I think they're feeling pretty good about where they are. Jimmy King.
50 seconds.
Where's Jimmy King going to go?
He's lane 2 right now.
He's going to end up in 3.
Yeah, you're right, because Eccles will move outside.
35 seconds.
Does he see enough room maybe to jump between Vilwalk and Shane?
Nope.
Doubt it.
Okay,
Nope, he'll be in lane 3. Shane in 1, Vilwalk in 2. You've got King in 3, Eccles in lane 4 as they come up the back stretch. Countdown underway for Heat 4A as we work our way to the Hapo Columbia Cup. 20 seconds on the clock. See if we get a clean start for Heat 4A. Racers have been pretty good.
10 seconds.
In timing it out today. Shane in lane 1, Vilwalk in 2. Lane 3 is King, Eccles on the outside. And it is a clean start from our vantage point. Vilwalk and Shane deck to deck. Jimmy King's got some boat speed, and he's in the tunnel in lane number 3.
Yeah, it is Vilwalk and it is Shane, but it is Shane in lane number 1. Get down here first. Got about 2 boat lengths on Vilwalk.
Yeah, he's bouncing around a little bit. Vilwalk goes out way wide, which forces Jimmy King out wide. And so Vilwalk comes out of Tire Factory turn 2 with almost a rooster tail deficit, trying to check him down the Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane had a really good Tire Factory turn number 2 and onto the Griggs backstretch. We'll see if Vilwalk can at least maintain his position on the course, and I think that will not happen because Jimmy Shane on the inside has the boat to beat in the home straight, and it has proved itself to be the strongest competitor in the field out of the box. Off the exit pin, turn number 4. We had Jimmy King dive to the inside. There was enough overlap, so Jimmy King moves inside of Vilwalk as they come across start-finish line. The race leader is Jimmy Shane. Vilwalk in second. Hard-charging Jimmy King of the Griggs Ace Hardware is on the inside of Vilwalk, but he cannot catch him down the front stretch.
That's going to be the race. Shane is already to the entrance pin and into the apex, but now here is going to be the race for second. Keep an eye on the piston boat on the inside. Dave's having to go outside. Jimmy Shane's wash, Kevin.
Yeah, Vic King is within the rooster tail of Vilwalk, and this is a big deal for Dave Will Vilwalk. He cannot finish back-to-back with Dustin Eccles. He needs at least 1 boat between him to get past the 440 point.
Up the backstretch, Jimmy Shane into Firehouse Subs, turn number 3. Your race leader with a 2 Rooster Tail lead over Vilwalk. Jimmy King's going to try to eat into the lead of Dave Vilwalk for second place. Can he catch him? Oh, I think he jumped over the wake and went outside. Jimmy King went way outside, and that was some rough water. He is now outside Vilwalk as they come around the exit pit of turn number 4. Jimmy Shane, 2 Rooster Tail lead, and now a 2 Rooster Tail lead for second place for Dave Vilwalk in the 40 down the front stretch. White flag is out.
Here, Jimmy Shane's just got a real comfortable lead now. Dave Vilwalk does. He's got a couple of Rooster Tails on King. Going to be a 1-2-3 finish here for those 3 boats, Kevin.
Yes, Jimmy Shane looks so smooth out there. Vilwalk, I think, taking it a little bit easier now, getting a better ride. Jimmy King battling for everything he's got, but I just don't know that the horsepower is there.
All for naught. 1 lap penalty. Dave Vilwalk, 1 lap penalty. Second place boat will be Jimmy King.
That
takes him out of the final.
Unless there's some bad luck, and I'll have to check the numbers again here in a second, but unless there's some bad luck in that 4B.
Jimmy Shane off the exit pin of turn number 4 onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch, comes way out wide and takes the checkered flag at the JMC Motorsports start-finish line. On the course, Dave Vilwalk in second place, but a 1-lap penalty. Jimmy King, your second place boat, the Griggs Ace Hardware 3. And a third place finish for Duxton Eccles if he makes it around. He's in Firehouse Subs turn number 3. Into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. The best fans on the circuit. Buffalo Brothers, hope you're having a good time at the west end of the course. And wave to Dustin Eccles as he swings way out wide for you. Great photo opportunity. So Eccles onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch, and will take the checkered flag for a third place finish. And the penalty for Dave